champs.
Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas is in the books, and it came with a sizable economic shot in the arm for Southern Nevada. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage, and we do begin tonight in Vegas, where the action is now winding down after this year's Super Bowl took over town. Tourism officials say roughly 330 million people were expected to stream into Southern Nevada for the big game and all the festivities, with an anticipated economic impact of $600 million for that region. $70 million of that is local and state tax revenue. As for the game itself last night, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the 49ers in a dramatic finish in overtime. Fox's Marianne Rafferty wraps up the game and the festivities in Vegas.
The Chiefs are Super Bowl champs.
The Kansas City Chiefs defeating the San Francisco 49ers to become Super Bowl 58 champions.
I just know that the Kansas City Chiefs are never underdogs.
Sunday's close game was a nail-biter heading into overtime with both teams at 19 points. The 49ers were the first to score a three-point field goal in overtime, but a last-second touchdown by the Chiefs secured their 25-22 point victory. Chiefs quarterback and three-time Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes lifting the Lombardi Trophy up sky high.
It was a microcosm of our whole season. I'm just proud of the guys that kept believing.
Their win sending shockwaves of excitement to Chiefs fans across the country. But not all the action inside Las Vegas Allegiant Stadium was sports-based. 8-time Grammy Award winner Usher really rocked out during the halftime show.
Spotlight, big stage.
The singer performed a medley of some of his major hits with fellow performers Alicia Keys, Her, Ludacris, Lil Jon, and others joining him on stage. Meanwhile, all eyes were also on Taylor Swift throughout football's biggest night. The superstar flew in after her concert in Japan to Sin City to support her boyfriend, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. And the celebrations are set to continue with a victory parade for the Chiefs scheduled for Wednesday back in Kansas City. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
And after that big win last night, Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes celebrated today at Disneyland in Orange County. He rode on top of a float in a colorful parade down Main Street. This is his third post-Super Bowl trip to Disneyland. He brought along his wife and two young children who took pictures with Minnie Mouse today. Well, after that crushing loss last night, the San Francisco 49ers touched down this afternoon in the Bay Area. While it was not the homecoming they had hoped for, the team was met by faithful fans there to support them after that loss. KTVU's Ann Rubin has more tonight from Santa Clara.
It was not the homecoming 49ers fans had hoped for.
I thought we were going to make it this. We were so close, so close.
And even though the Super Bowl ended in heartache, fans wiped their tears and showed up to cheer their team nonetheless.
You can't blame, you don't blame nobody. They're a team, and you win like a team and you lose like a team. And that's just like a fan. We're here to represent and tell them thank you so much for a great season.
Some actually drove back from Las Vegas to be here. Ken Gawanga runs the 49ers tailgate social media accounts.
I was at Mandalay Bay for the watch party. I just came home last night, so I was actually there. We were all holding our hands, thinking it was our moment, our 6-1, and it just came up short a couple of times.
And while there was a little Monday morning quarterbacking and some rehashing of the injuries, the kicks, and the calls, fans agree their team left it all on the field.
It's a little heartbreaking. Let's be real. I think a lot of us weren't expecting the outcome of the game. But we're all out here to support the team as much as we can.
And so dozens came decked in their Niners best, carrying signs and flags and balloons, hoping to welcome their team home.
I'm a diehard fan, and I just want to show them that we love them no matter what. It didn't go the way we wanted to, but we want them to know that we're still here for them, and next year will be better, hopefully.
Fans say they're going to give themselves a few days to mope, and then they'll start turning their attention to next season. At Levi Stadium, Ann Rubin, KTVU Fox 2 News.
Well, the Monday after the Super Bowl is traditionally the day the host city hands the proverbial baton over to the next Super Bowl city. Las Vegas handed the reins over to New Orleans, the host of Super Bowl 59. Today they unveiled the new logo. The NFL collaborated with a local New Orleans artist for this brightly colored design.
Las Vegas has set a high bar, and the baton has been passed to us. It's up to us now, and we're excited about the opportunity. So in just 363 days, we expect to see you in the streets of the French Quarter and in the seats of the Caesars Superdome. We are ready to go.
And you can watch Super Bowl 59 right here on Fox on February 9th of next year. Turning now to tragic news in the Bay Area. A neighborhood has been shaken after authorities today discovered 4 people dead inside of a home, including 2 young children. As KTVU's Tori Gaines reports, people who live nearby are stunned by the discovery.
A 911 call came in just after 9 a.m. asking police to check on the residents of a home on Alameda de las Pulgas because no one had heard from them in some time. San Mateo police arrived and checked all exits of the home, where they found no signs of forced entry. When officers made their way inside the house, they found 4 people with, quote, obvious signs of death.
One of the people was an adult male, another was an adult female, and there was 2 young children involved.
The 2 children were both young boys, police said. Their identities have not yet been released, but detectives and officers remained inside of the home investigating hours later. The street was closed near the home, and neighbors were escorted to and from their homes while police continued their work. Neighbors tell us this was a stunning discovery so close to home. Matthew Sheldon and his daughter Marianne have both lived in San Mateo their whole lives, and they say they've never seen anything like this.
There's hardly any deaths in this area ever.
But they say they aren't worried for their own safety.
I would definitely be more worried if, like they said, that they were searching for someone, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
One man we spoke to hopes that more neighbors will be willing to reach out to one another to build a tighter-knit community.
Yeah, you hope that people talk more, right? Again, you hate to rally around a tragedy like this or have something like this happen, but you would hope people come out into their neighborhoods, like you see people out on the street trying to figure out what happened. And maybe that'll get people talking again.
The police echoed the comments of neighbors about how unusual these deaths are.
This is not a normal call for anyone. It's tragic for the family, the community, the officers, everyone involved.
As San Mateo police continued their investigation, they say there is no threat to the general public at this time, and they're not currently searching for any suspects. In San Mateo, Tori Gaines, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Tonight, San Francisco police continue to investigate after vandals set fire to a Waymo self-driving vehicle. It happened Saturday night in the city's Chinatown neighborhood on the same day as Lunar New Year celebrations. Fire officials say more than a dozen people surrounded that vehicle, which was empty at the time. They sprayed graffiti on it, smashed out the windows, and then set off fireworks inside. The entire car burst into flames. San Francisco Mayor London Breed put out a statement about what happened, and it reads in part, quote, "We are a city that is home to exciting, emerging technologies like autonomous vehicles that are changing the world. We are a city that is rich in culture, ideas, and pride. We are not defined by a small, isolated incident by a reckless few. We are defined by the rich, vibrant communities like the ones who came together Saturday in Chinatown to celebrate the best of who we are." A judge has ordered Elon Musk to testify in a federal investigation into his purchase of San Francisco-based Twitter. The Securities and Exchange Commission is looking into whether Musk followed the law with that $44 billion deal in 2022. Musk has resisted complying with the investigation. The order gives Musk and his team a week to agree on a date and location to testify. The SEC is looking into the period before his takeover of the social media platform now called X. Today marks the 20th anniversary of a pivotal moment that took place in San Francisco in the legal battle for marriage equality for same-sex couples. It's being called the Winter of Love, when San Francisco began issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Then Mayor Gavin Newsom defied the federal ban on gay marriage and put in motion a nearly decade-long legal battle on the road to the Supreme Court's landmark ruling in 2013, establishing a constitutional right to marriage equality. Today, we spoke with a same-sex couple who was among the first to be married 20 years ago today.
When we heard the words, "Now I pronounce you legally married spouses for life," oh, the chills, they just went up and down my body. I realized this was the first time in our lives as LGBTQ couple, and as an LGBT person for ourselves. But this was the first time in our lives that our government was treating us as equal human beings.
In 2008, John Lewis and Stuart Gaffney joined other plaintiffs in a lawsuit that overturned California's ban on same-sex marriages. Still ahead tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a grateful Arizona family reaching out to the teenager who jumped into a lake to save their loved one after a crash. Also, a judge hands down a sentence today to the couple whose gender reveal party sparked a deadly Southern California wildfire.
From the Pacific Northwest to all of California, all eyes are due west. Tracking the next atmospheric river, we will tell you when to expect it and how much rain will interfere with your holiday weekend. West Coast Wrap forecast up next.
In Southern California, the National Transportation Safety Board is heading up the investigation into a helicopter crash that left 6 people dead in the Mojave Desert. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office says that chopper went down Friday night near the California-Nevada border. Deputies say all 6 people who were on board that Eurocopter EC-120 died. The Director General of the World Trade Organization says the CEO of one of Nigeria's largest banks was among those killed in the crash. Investigators say weather may have been a factor.
It was reported by witnesses that there was rain with some wintry mix. We currently have a meteorologist working on our team, and we are working to analyze and get the exact weather conditions at that time.
The helicopter was not equipped with either a flight data recorder or a cockpit voice recorder. A preliminary report on this crash will be released in a couple of weeks. The final report could take anywhere between 1 and 2 years. Also in Southern California, a woman and a 16-year-old boy are recovering tonight after their small plane crashed at John Wayne Airport over the weekend. One of the victims was able to climb out of the wreckage on their own while crews had to rescue the other person. Both of them were taken to the hospital, and the cause of the crash is being investigated still tonight. In Colorado, an avalanche over the weekend killed a backcountry skier. This happened yesterday afternoon near Crested Butte. Authorities say the people skiing with the victim rushed to find him and dig him out of the snow. According to the Colorado Avalanche Center, at least 7 people have died in avalanches here in the U.S. so far this ski season. The candidates running for the open U.S. Senate seat in California are taking part in another debate tonight in San Francisco. The 4 frontrunners will be on the stage for their second debate. That's Democratic congressional members Adam Schiff, Katie Porter, and Barbara Lee, along with former Dodger Steve Garvey, a Republican. The 2 candidates with the most votes in the March 5th primary election will advance to the November 5th general election. A family in Arizona is expressing their gratitude tonight to a teenager who jumped into a lake to save their loved one. Fox 10's Marissa Sarback spoke with the wife and daughter of the man who was rescued.
It's been a roller coaster of emotions. I miss my dad a lot.
Todd Buckner is still in the ICU and still intubated after a medical emergency while driving sent his SUV into a lake in Chandler. A high school student named Ethan was the first one to jump in after him. The Buckner family just wants to say thank you.
Just seeing that video of him doing that just was so heartwarming and really touched me, because I was like, wow, some stranger just wanted to jump in to save, try to save my dad. And I watched the video, what he said. He was like, everyone is just films things nowadays, and he actually wanted to take action.
Todd's wife Rochelle had just touched down at LAX when the calls and texts started to come through. Immediately, she needed to get back, and she says the flight crew helped her do just that.
For me personally, that girl at Maria at Southwest, that was just I was out of my mind. I didn't even remember what gate I came out of. And just the kindness, the human kindness that people, when you're in this kind of situation, it means a lot.
Rochelle and Allie say the doctors at Chandler Regional Medical Center believe Todd had a stroke and a seizure, causing him to lose control of the car. Today, they walk through the accident scene, and no matter what happens, they say they're thankful for the kindness of strangers.
And that was Fox 10's Marissa Sarback reporting tonight. There is no word at this point on whether the family has been able to thank the teenager involved in that rescue in person. In Northern California, a train derailment in the Sierra has sent coal spilling into the Feather River. This happened over the weekend in Plumas County. The State Office of Spill Prevention and Response says 14 train cars carrying coal went off the rails, dropping what it described as an undetermined amount of coal into the river. Crews are working now to figure out the environmental impact of that spill. The couple whose gender reveal party sparked a deadly Southern California wildfire back in 2020 has been sentenced after reaching a plea deal. Refugio Manuel Jimenez Jr. was sentenced to a year in county jail, 2 years felony probation and community service. Angelina Jimenez was sentenced to 1 year probation and community service. The El Dorado fire burned 22,000 acres in the San Bernardino National Forest, destroyed 5 homes, and killed a U.S. Forest Service wildland firefighter.
Pretty good looking day across not only the state of California, but well into the Pacific Northwest as well. In fact, we had some pretty dry conditions around Salt Lake City, backing through Vegas and all the way into Arizona. Phoenix, you were basking in some sunshine, but still slightly below average for this time of the year. How about a good looking day in Seattle? You saw with our satellite imagery those clouds streaming across the Pacific Northwest. 52 degrees there. Good looking day to head to the Pikes Marketplace there. Wonderful day for that. All right, in San Francisco, average high this time of the year is 60 degrees, and bam, that's what you got. And then meanwhile, in Los Angeles, flirting with nearly 70 degrees, a good-looking day to dry out before more rain moves into Southern California. We'll get to that, but right now, 44 degrees in Seattle, 41 degrees in Boise. How about 10 degrees warmer than that in Las Vegas? And in Phoenix, it's 60, cooler than that in Los Angeles. Upstream we go, nearly freezing in Anchorage, and you could see the sleet and snow in the vicinity there. Mid-30s now in Juneau, Alaska. All right, those high, thin clouds, those are renegade clouds. They're all associated with system number 1 right off the California coastline here, but this is what I'm concerned with. This is a tongue of moisture, a plume of activity that streams all the way back into the Hawaiian Islands. This is another atmospheric river. This will be system number 2 that will impact the coastline of California all the way up into Seattle, including Oregon. And this system here will bring copious amounts of precipitation, up to 5 inches of rain in the wettest locations along this California coastline from the Bay Area through Mendocino County into Humboldt County as well. And again, once the rain starts, it's going to be on again, off again from Wednesday all the way through Monday, perhaps even the potential of Tuesday. So here we go. This is your West Coast forecast. Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., cloud cover from anywhere from Santa Barbara through the Bay Area into Eureka and heading into Medford, Oregon. There's a precipitation by Wednesday morning, and it starts to linger into the northern portion of the Bay Area. It will be a wet Valentine's Day there, but Southern California, you are dry until, again, the weekend. So we're going to try to play it out like this for you. First off, Seattle, you've got the rain showers coming in by Wednesday and Thursday. Pretty much the same story in the Bay Area, but you will buy a little bit of a break on Thursday before that second system, the bigger one, moves in on Friday night. Gorgeous conditions in Denver and the Mile High City. Los Angeles, your weekend will be a rain out, but until then, bright sunshine in the deserts of Phoenix. Enjoy your Tuesday.
All right, we'll enjoy the sunshine until the rain arrives. Roberta, thank you. Still ahead for us tonight here on West Coast Wrap. Hear how a bot outbreak is causing some serious problems for some California community colleges. Also, we'll have the details on the invasive species threatening a multi-million-dollar crop in Hawaii. A moose monitoring initiative is underway in eastern Washington. Biologists from the Department of Fish and Wildlife will be collaring female moose. The area where this is all taking place extends from Mount Spokane to northeast Washington. Fish and Wildlife officials say the goal here is to gather data on pregnancy rates and what type of parasites are affecting the moose. Teachers at a community college near Palm Springs are now being asked to help identify artificial intelligence bots that are enrolling in classes. College administrators at the College of the Desert say there has been an alarming increase in this kind of activity in recent months. These AI bots are taking the spots of real students and costing the college thousands of dollars.
This is it's a very minimal issue here at the College of the Desert when you compare us to some of the other campuses across the state.
The issue at the College of the Desert follows a 2021 Los Angeles Times report that found evidence of a bot outbreak in several different community colleges across Southern California. In Hawaii, agriculture officials are growing increasingly concerned about a beetle eating away at the island's banana trees. As Fox's Bryce Moore reports, the invasive species is cutting into the state's multi-million-dollar banana crop.
Mililani Agricultural Park says coconut rhinoceros beetles have been damaging coconut and palm trees for about 5 years.
I've lost about 350 mature trees, and if you were to take an average price of say $1,000 per tree, you'd come up with about $350,000.
He called the agriculture department, and CRB response teams were sent out to treat the trees.
Nobody's come back to me and given me any kind of a report whether the pesticides they were used was, effective or not. Obviously, for me, it wasn't effective.
Telltale signs of CRB damage are these boreholes, along with truncated crowns. Recently, he's seen the holes in his banana crop.
Now, Wayne tells me he's noticed damage to his banana trees for about a year, telling me the beetles mainly go after the root structure to the point where the trees just fall over.
They just died, and after a while, there was no structural integrity within the stump itself, so it just fell.
The Hawaii Farm Bureau calls the damage to bananas extremely disturbing.
We grow bananas here in Hawaii. What happens if we can't stop them? Are we no longer going to be able to have bananas? We're going to be importing all of our bananas. We could possibly be importing more pests.
Miyamoto says the legislature will hear at least 10 bills on invasive species on Monday. He says funding is a point of interest, but communication from officials to farmers after treatment is critical.
Because if we don't, then we're just putting on a Band-Aid. Putting on a Band-Aid and we're not healing the wound.
The Ag Department tells me various pesticides that are effective at managing CRB can be used on banana. We'll have more information on KHON2.com. Bryce Moore, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.
Finally, tonight, there are new efforts underway to move forward on building offshore wind farms along the California coastline. The federal government has leased part of the coastline to build wind farms 20 miles off the coast near Humboldt Bay, Morro Bay along the central coast, and in Long Beach in Southern California. Today, 3 state lawmakers proposed a bill calling for a $1 billion bond to help pay for improvements to the nearby ports. If this bill passes, it would then be put before voters who would then give final approval. And that does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. And a reminder here before we go that you can stay up to date on all the stories we're covering at our website, westcoastwrap.com. Also, you can stream all of our shows right there on your smart TV. All you have to do is download the Fox Local app. Have a great rest of your night. I will see you back here tomorrow night.